Welcome to another video in the Freelancing Journey playlist. To follow the journey from the beginning, check the playlist that you can find in the more information icon up there on YouTube. In the last video, we stopped when our French company was contacting the SAP Recruitment Companies to ask them what is a reasonable budget to find freelance resources in this region, and also to ask them to find some good profiles that can fit the requirement they have to implement the project. From now on, whenever I want to talk about the French company, I will call it the customer, because from our point of view as SAP Recruitment Companies or as SAP Consultants, this is our customer. So when I say the customer, I mean the company that wants to implement the SAP project. So the customer contacts the SAP Recruitment Companies or agencies. And this is a very important part in the process. What is the SAP Recruitment Company and why is it very important in the SAP market? SAP Recruitment Companies have teams of recruiters who understand how the SAP market works. So they know how to find a good resource that can fit the requirement for a customer to implement a certain project. And this is very important because when we think about our customer, this is a trading company. They specialize in trading, and maybe the recruiters that work for them in the HR department, they can help find business resources, for example, accountants, marketing, and so on. But they are not experienced in the technical market of SAP. So if they try to find SAP resources on their own, number one, they will not know what exactly they are looking for. Number two, they will not know who to contact from the consultants because they will not understand which consultant does what. And this will waste a lot of their time and a lot of their budget. So the other solution is they contact someone who has experience in the recruitment in the SAP field. So they contact the SAP Recruitment Companies. And the recruiters that work for the SAP Recruitment Companies should be well aware of how the market works. So when the customer contacts them, they should ask the right questions to clarify what the customer actually wants. So for example, if the customer says, I am looking for an SAP expert, then we should ask the question, what do you mean by an SAP expert? Because in the SAP market, there is nothing that is called an SAP expert or an SAP consultant in general. So if you ever receive a requirement like this doesn't exist. We have to ask more questions. So what do you mean by an SAP expert? What is he supposed to do? So they start explaining, we are trying to roll out our solution to Egypt. All right, so what are the areas you have in your solution? Do you have finance? Do you have production? Do you have purchasing? Do you have sales? And then based on these requirements, we can say, okay, so we need an SAP financial expert, an SAP logistics expert, an SAP production expert, an SAP technical expert, and so on. And the SAP recruiter can start from there, take these requirements, and start looking for consultants. So this is the first function of an SAP recruitment company. The second function is most of the international companies, they don't like legal responsibilities with different partners. So international companies, they don't contract with individual consultants, and most of them, they don't contract also with individual companies. So if you are a freelancer who has his individual company, most of the time international companies don't like contracting with these companies. So instead, they contact one SAP recruitment company that has a good commercial registration, legal registration, that's most of the time registered in Europe or in UK, and then they contract with this company, and this company will handle all the other contracts with the different consultants. So this way, they are reducing the legal responsibility they have. They only have to deal with one company instead of having to deal with 10 companies for different consultants, for example. And this takes us to the third function of the recruitment companies. They handle all the recruitment, paperwork, payments of the consultants. So the customer only contracts with one company, and then at the end, and he has several purchase orders, several contracts, several payments that go to this company every month. They already work together, and then this recruitment company will handle everything else. So they are getting paid from the customer, and then they pay the consultants. So the SAP recruitment companies play a very important role in the SAP market, and this is why they deserve to get paid, and this is why they take a percentage from the rate that the customer pays to the consultant. But we'll talk more about this later. The important thing I want to mention here is, as consultants and recruiters, we work as a team to fulfill the requirements of the customer. So we should collaborate together. For example, as an SAP consultant, I receive many messages from SAP recruiters. And from the first paragraph in any message, from the first sentence, I can easily say whether the recruiter is experienced or is new in the SAP market. For example, when I receive a message saying, "Good morning, we have a customer looking for SAP experts. Would you be interested?" I know for sure that this is either someone who is trying to collect data without a real project, or someone who doesn't really know what he wants, so he doesn't have experience in the field, which means he is wasting my time, he is wasting the customer's time, he is wasting his time, and this doesn't help anyone. So when I receive messages like this, and if I find that the person that's sending the message actually has a real profile and is trying to find SAP resources, I reply explaining to him how the SAP market works. So I would reply saying, you cannot look for SAP experts, you need to know what exactly you're looking for. We have finance experts, material management, and just a short message as an overview that explains how the market works. When I do this, I'm actually helping him understand how the market works. So he showed if there is actually a customer, he would go back to the customer, ask for more details, clarify what the customer wants, and this way he is also helping the customer clarify his requirement. Then he would clarify his requirement also. Then he would come back to LinkedIn or to the social media platform and start looking for the correct profiles. And then some freelance SAP consultants will be able to find projects thanks to this. So when we help the recruiters understand how the market works, they would help us as consultants find more projects. So of course, if you are an SAP recruiter, or if you are someone who started working for an SAP recruiter and you would like to know how the SAP market works so you can find better resources in a shorter time, so improve your efficiency, don't hesitate to contact me by LinkedIn. I would be happy to explain. And also, if I receive many requests like this, I would be happy to create another video targeting the SAP recruiters to explain how the market works from the point of view of the consultant. It never harms to see how the other party thinks about your process. Networking is very important in our field. It is very important as an SAP consultant to have good relations with several SAP recruiters. It is very important for the SAP recruiters to have good relations and a vast network of SAP consultants. We all work together for the same target. Now that we understand what are the SAP recruitment companies and why are they very important in the SAP market, in the next videos, I will take you through the steps that happen from the time the customer contacts the recruitment company until they find a good consultant, sign the contract, and then receive the timesheets, make the payment, and so on. If you are someone who is working for an SAP recruitment company, please let me know what you think about this video. If you are an SAP freelance consultant who did some work with recruitment companies, please also let me know what you think. Let me know if you want me to add anything else. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.